Hi, my name is Diana. As most of you know on my Facebook, you know me as Diana. This will hopefully go viral. I would like it to, if it's possible, because I think that other women have gone through the same. I know there was another girl prior to me that went through the same thing with the guy that I'm about to tell you about. I don't know if there was anybody else, and I personally but don't even want to know. Maybe in the past, but I don't want to know if there was any any while I was around. Let's put it that way, because I know he's propositioned a few girls, and uh, he's been confronted about it. So I had to tell you, I was in a 4-year relationship, almost a 4-year relationship, when I got bariatric surgery, and I had gone through a lot of problems with him as well. The guy that I was with, he was, very angry guy and everything, and I was kind of thinking, oh wow, I don't want to go through this with somebody. And so I had met Mike during the time I was with my ex. I don't want to say his name because he doesn't deserve to get outed like this, but Mike Archambault, that's his name. I'll show a picture at the end so that you women don't get fooled by him, okay? I met Mike and we started dating. My ex moved out of province because of it, and I feel bad about it, but him and I were our relationship was pretty much done. It was done. Our intimacy, everything was done a long time ago. And anyway, we started dating, and he was supposed to come to do a superintendent job with me because that's where I was at the time. I was on a medical leave. I couldn't do the duties, and he was supposed to come. And so he did. He did come there. In the beginning, things were great. It was the connection I never thought I would ever have with anybody in my life. We were really, really close. Our intimacy was amazing. There was no weirdness with us. Everything was really, really good. He was so nice to me and so kind and respectful. And I loved him, and I still do, even though I'm about to tell you all the things that he's done and he's about to do again. Anyway, so we were living in Kitchener, and at the time, we were okay. Crystal meth was introduced into our lives, and he progressively turned into somebody that I have no idea who he was. He started messing up the duties at the house. My son was no help, so I'm not going to say that, but then again, it wasn't his job to do them. When my ex left, Mike promised that all he had to do was sweep and do some repairs here and there and cut the lawn. He was refusing to do that. I know what he was doing now. I didn't know at the time. At the time, I'm thinking, why is he acting like this? But now I know, because when you go through the motions, and then you go through the channels and everything, and you start to see what he's doing. He was purposely trying to get me to lose that place, because he still had a place downtown Cambridge. He still had his apartment on Ainsley. And so we lost the place because I had had enough. The supers, or the owners, were always yelling at me for the things that he didn't do and everything else. And I said, I don't want this anymore. He knew that I was having anxiety over it, and he knew this was the outcome that was going to happen. So we gave up the apartment. My poor son was in there for 3 weeks, refusing to leave, because he said, why do we have to leave our home? So he went to go live with a friend of mine, and I went to go live with Mike. And that's when it all started. He isolated me from my son so that my son couldn't see the things that he was about to do to me. Okay? But now he's quite younger than me. I'm 53 and he's 41. So I don't even know what I was thinking. I don't know. Maybe I had lost all this 100 pounds and my youth. And I don't know. He reminded me of my ex-husband, maybe. I don't know. But I was in the apartment with him. And for months and months and months, okay, I was having medical issues, but I also had mental issues. It was one of the big reasons why I couldn't go back to work, because he was abusing me. He was calling me every name in the book, accusing me of being a slut and a whore, yelling and screaming so every neighbor in the building could hear him. Now, mind you, nobody, absolutely nobody can tell you any different. Okay, I've got witness after witness after witness to prove all of this, okay? The apartment was absolutely trashed. Like, beyond repair. It is awful in there. I had to live in horror. I have videos of that, and I have videotapes of him yelling and screaming at me, and I think I will upload them all to a channel just for domestic abuse, so that everybody knows the things that have happened. So in the beginning of the relationship, stupid me, like the idiot that I am, okay, he asked me to pay his stepdad off $7,000 because he had a debt with him, and I took out a loan. And I paid off his stepdad, and I paid off both his credit cards. And I paid mine off. I paid everything off. I said, this gives us a fresh start. I don't know why I would do this so early in a relationship. I really don't. You can't ask me because I do not know. Like I said, I had the surgery. My hormones were different. Everything was just taking me up by storm. Okay. And every time I tried to do something good, something bad was happening. At that time, it was only a few months in, he broke the windshield on my CRV. He punched it and broke it. I told everybody that it was cracked at the Scarborough Rib Fest, but it was him. He did that, and I was floored. I didn't know what the hell, like, what are you doing? So I told him, if you keep this up, eventually you're going to start hitting me. So you need to get help, or you need to do something. Please quit the drugs, just something, right? So now, I'm not going to say that I was innocent in any of the partaking and partying, because I wasn't innocent, okay? But I got to tell you, my behavior did not change in the way that his changed. The drinking, the partying, everything else, whatever. I was sick, mostly. So I would be on the couch, just sitting, focusing on my computer and everything else. And when I tell you I was sick, I was very ill. I had problems going to the bathroom because of my surgery, and it was probably the most embarrassing, shameful time of my life. To have to use the bathroom was an event. It wasn't easy for me. Everyone kept saying to me, if he's treating you this way, why don't you leave? I had nowhere to go. No one offered me, hey, come and stay with me. And if they did, when it was time for me to say, yeah, I'm going to come and stay, nobody even responded. So yeah, I was left there. Eventually the police started coming to the house. They were coming to the house repeatedly. They were called by the neighbors. I have called them. My son called them. Anybody that heard him treating me this way had called them. And they would come to the door, and this is Waterloo Regional Police, and I will definitely be holding some of these people accountable for everything that I've been through and what I'm still going to go through. So he one day decided to pick me up by my neck and throw me into a wall. Okay, he says that he just passed by me and I tripped. That was the story we were supposed to keep. No, that's not the case, and I will post pictures. I had a black ear, a concussion on top of the concussion that I got in February for my car accident, from when he was pressuring me to get my ass home because he wanted to know who I was with. I was at the dollar store. I almost died in that accident, okay, because he was pressuring me and being angry at me and telling me I better get home. And I gotta tell you, okay, not once did that family ever call me and ask me, hey, how is Diana with her head? No, or how are you with your head? No, she just secretly messaged Mike, oh, how's Diana? Okay, this mother messaged this to him about 15 times a day. I had finally asked her, does Mike have mental health issues on top of anything else that's going on? I mean, he lives in geared to income housing. How does the single man get this unless there's something wrong? Oh, he has colitis, apparently. Well, he didn't have that when we were together. And he's not on any kind of mental medication, and God knows he needs it. He definitely needs it. And I guess now that he's sobered up at his parents' house, he's deciding to have me charged for fraud. Okay, and I'll tell you how we got there. Okay. So I can't even breathe. I don't even know how I'm going to go to work today. Okay, this is, I am going to go because I have a commitment, and I will honor that, but I can't. He has mentally excruciated me to the point where I am just absolutely want to die. Okay, like, the thought of death is probably easier than to go through what I'm going to have to go through and all the debts he's put me in, and now he's he's saying that I frauded his credit card. Okay, we were supposed to pay the rent from those credit cards and mine. Okay, but anyways, let me just backtrack here. So fast forward, he's been abusing me for months and months and months and months, like every single day. There's not one day that I could tell you that I didn't have any sort of peace. He would take me in his truck, he would slam on the brakes knowing that I had a back issue, and he'd seize my back, and I'd be screaming and crying, and I have videos of that too. I'd be screaming and crying, and he would be telling me, shut the fuck up, you're a whore, you're this. I never cheated on him, I never looked at anybody else. Everybody that knows me knows that that's true, and I really, God, really wish that somebody will comment on this video and will say, yeah, we were there. Okay, I will have witness after witness, because I do plan to take civil action against all of them, against every single person that knew what was going on there and left me there. Okay, so so this is going on and on and on. I could tell you stories, but let's just say there was physical, mental, psychological abuse, any abuse that you could possibly think of. Okay, then all of a sudden, that wasn't good enough for him. Okay, and this is going to be the most embarrassing thing. And probably people will be like, oh, she's probably lying. No, I don't lie about stuff like this because I live by a code. Okay, I live by a code. And apparently he does not. Okay, and he's supposed to be this solid street guy, whatever. No, he does not live by a code. Anybody that has an FPS number knows we all live by a code. Anybody who's done jail time, anybody who has, been on the street or whatever will tell you that we live by a code. Okay, and wow, the code is that you don't lie about things like this. One day when I was sleeping, because he always used to try to force me to go to bed when he went to bed. There's days when, yeah, I stayed awake, absolutely awake. How do you want to go to bed and lay beside someone that's calling you every name in the book, has put their hands on you, has just thrown things? I spit in my face. There was a guy in front of the ESSO. You know what? I hope that this video goes viral, and all the people in Cambridge that have called, that they heard the screaming from that F-150, that was me. From the CRV, that was me. That was me, and thank you. But it didn't work because the police didn't give a shit for the longest time. Okay, I had to push for a supervisor. Okay, I had to push for a goddamn supervisor. All right, he needed to stop hitting me, okay, pushing me and whatever. He says, oh, I didn't actually hit you. Oh, okay, so doing this to me and putting your fists up like this and intimidating me and slapping my legs, pushing me into a wall, that's not hitting, though. That's not a cold punch in the face. What about the time when I was sleeping, Mike? What about the time when I said to you, do not touch me while I'm sleeping? And you kept saying to me, oh, yes, I've got it. And I said, no, Mike, don't do that. All right, we are not getting along. I do not want to have sex with you. Please leave me alone. Well, he did not. Okay, and when I woke up to it all finished, okay, and I said, what the hell did you do? He said, oh, well, you were into it. And I said, oh, my God. I said I was into it. I was sleeping. He's trying to tell me that, oh, no, I wasn't asleep and I was into it. And then he proceeded to tell me, you're my wife and I will take it anytime I want. That's what he said to me now, because he's my boyfriend and I'm in love with him. But at the same time, I feel like I don't have autonomy over my own body. I can't go to sleep when I want. I can't eat. I have to eat what he says. I have to do this with this and this. And now I have to have sex with him in my sleep. I kept that quiet for the longest time, and I kept it quiet, and I didn't say much. I did confront him, and then I started to tell people. I did tell a couple people, and I did tell the police at first, and they said that I'd have to go in and make a report and whatnot, and everything else, and I really was hoping that things would change if he got sober. So he got out, so he was in jail for a while, and we were supposed to have no contact, but he would have his prisoner friends call me and keep in hold of me, and his mom was talking to me the whole way, and I really thought she was starting to like me, okay? But it's not the case. She friended me up because she wanted me to pay his bills, because she pressured me to pay his credit cards every time I spoke to her. I have the messages. Did you have a chance to pay his credit cards? Did you have? I have $7,000 of his credit cards on mine right now, and I can't afford to live at all. Okay, like the debt that this guy has put me in, the $7,000 from his stepfather. plus another 7,000 that I put balance transferred his cards onto me, and I have those transactions, and I have all the times I paid for his cards. Okay, he would bring them to the limit and I would pay for them. He would bring them to the limit, I would pay for them. Okay, and I was trying to keep us a unit. I was trying to keep us together. And so after that happened, our relationship really got strained, because then I was really scared to go into the bedroom anytime he asked me to go, because I didn't want to have sex in my sleep. I didn't want to be taken advantage of any more than I have. So when he got out, but when he was in prison, it seemed like things were going to get better and we were going to be okay. And I often told him, I said, Mike, you can't hurt me the way that you're hurting me, because when all is said and done, I don't have the kind of support you have with your family. They're going to take you in if we lose the apartment or if we lose things, and I'm going to be stuck. And I have my son that's still going through some problems, and then I'm helping him out. And I can't be left like this. Oh, that will never happen, baby. That will never happen. And I'm not going to hurt you anymore. And I love you and everything else. And well, mind you, the second day he was out of jail, again, the drugs. Okay. And he knows how they affect him. And I don't care. You can say, well, you were with him, or you could have done them too, or you're drinking. Okay, but I paid the bills. I've made the money. I went to work. I loved him to death. I tried to do everything I could for him, and I paid his bills, and I loved him, and I told him I loved him. I just didn't want to be treated badly. Okay, it doesn't matter though what his family thinks or what his friends think, because they think that that's the Mike that they know. His mom had no idea that he was smoking crack for 5 years in that apartment. She had no clue. Absolutely none. His relationship with his mom is absolutely fake, and it is very sad, because I don't lie to my mom and I don't lie to my kids. They know everything that I do. Absolutely everything, because at the end of the day, it doesn't affect anybody else. Anything that I do affects myself, nobody else. Okay, so because of this now, he gets out, he does all these things, and again, here comes the assaults. Here comes the verbal, the verbal shit. Everything else, horrible. I'm this, I'm that. I'm a horrible person, so I pulled contact. I didn't want to have contact with him anymore. I'm sorry, but you're saying all of these things to me. Why the hell would I want to have contact with you? He was on probation, so I was able to pull contact. But I was also pulling contact because we were supposed to be packing the stuff, the apartment. He wouldn't let me pack it. We're getting evicted because the first time he went to jail, he didn't tell me he didn't pay the rent. He went and spent all the money, and I don't know where he spent it. I don't know where he spends any of the money. He would never show me the credit card statements. He would never show me anything. I just paid them. I just did, because I was stuck, I was sick, and I had nobody to help me. So, and I stayed. All right, I might be stupid, okay? Maybe I am. I've been abused in the past before, so maybe this is why I allowed it. I don't know. I was just at the lowest point in my life, okay? So now, he's, okay, second time out, I pulled contact, so now he's charged with breach again. Okay, now we can't go to Ainsley together, right? So he's asking me, please, Diana, we had to get hotels. I paid for hotel after hotel after hotel. Bigamins, I've got all these statements, okay? He was on the run, and I kept him there, okay? I kept him in hotels. I spent thousands of dollars on him, thousands. Okay, my own stupidity, I get it. You can say it till the day is long, and I understand that. Okay, I get it, but that does not give the right to that person to keep doing it to me. Okay, if I'm the idiot, then don't you think don't you think his mother and everybody else that was smarter than me, and at that point, that would be saying, hey, what the hell are you doing? Somebody needs to stop him, because I sure couldn't. I wasn't well. Physically, I wasn't well either. Okay, so all of a sudden now we need to find a place, because of course we can't go to Ainsley together, and we're evicted from there anyway. And during the time that I was there, if you watch some of my other videos, I was assaulted by the superintendent. All right, now I don't know why everybody thinks that it's okay to fuck me over, put their hands on me, steal money from me, whatever, because I've had friends do the same thing while I was in this low point in my life. This is what's killing me. Does nobody have any compassion for anybody? I have helped so many people in this town. Numerous people have asked me for help, and I have done it. If I have it, I'll share it. And I will take the clothes off my back. But I don't deserve to be treated the way that I've been treated. There is no way. And I have people that at least will come and say that that's true. So during this time that we were at Ainsley, he did not pay the rent, and I was assaulted by the super. They were trying to kick us out, but because I was his guest, I was allowed to be in the apartment. I was also a tenant because I do fit the criteria of being a tenant there with him. They disputed that. So I went and got another apartment. Oh, yes, I did. Took out another loan, $3,200, first and last. Right, on an apartment. It's this apartment. It isn't the greatest. I put it together, though. I pulled it together and made it look good. But the landlord's a slumlord. Absolutely, he wouldn't fix anything. There was bed bugs in here. I had to get them fumigated myself. I just did anything. I just threw him $3,200. He didn't even give me a lease. He doesn't even know my name. I don't think he even knows my last name. He doesn't care. But I needed a place for us so me and Mike could hang out, right? Because we couldn't have contact. Because then at that point he was charged again. So now he's on the run. So then he was here, and he started again. He started again and started grabbing a knife and stabbing the dresser and intimidating me and doing all these things and skyjacked on meth once again and doing everything that he possibly could to excruciate me, telling me the place was a pig, that was disgusting, what the fuck was I thinking, blah, blah, blah. Just totally calling me down to the dirt for the efforts that I made for him. Yeah. And it's asking me when my credit card's going to be paid again. And, you know, I'd like to see the receipts, please. No, he wouldn't let me see that. Wasn't allowed to see those again. But he kept running over to the bar over here. And he kept running, like, all to these really weird places, watching the police come here and actually, like, getting off on it. Like, laughing about it. Like, oh, I saw them come to the house. Like, that's not funny. That is not funny. Okay? So, once again, Mike goes in. Okay? This time, he's got people calling me, right? Then he called me, and then all of a sudden, when he finds out that I got in trouble for that, I missed my court date for the accident, right? The one I had in February for the concussion. Missed my court date because, of course, listen, I was to the point of suicide, okay? Well, all the things that he was doing to me, I was to the point where I wanted to kill myself, okay? And I had told people that. I had told my doctor I was feeling really bad, tried to put me on antidepressants. They weren't working. So yeah, that's what I was. And yeah, Karen's his mom. Yeah, your son excruciated me to the point where I wanted to kill myself. And I'm someone's daughter. My mom has value too, you know, not just you. Okay, so his mom was all nice to me until all the credit cards were paid and everything else. Then nothing. She was supposed to take me out to lunch. I paid for it. I offered to because I felt bad for all the times that I vented to her about what was going on with Mike and I, because I was really hoping that I wouldn't have to do it again. But it did. I have all the messages. I have the timelines on hers and on my messages. She can block me all she wants, but I got the messages. Okay? I have a timeline now, and I will be sharing that timeline when I go and make my report. Because I don't think I'm going to sit here and allow this family to do any more to me. Because I say the family because I told them that $7,000 was mine. And Mike wasn't giving it back to me. And they didn't even offer, you know, they're not starving. If you look at them, they both do not look like they're starving. And you know what? They have a beautiful house and everything else. They didn't need that $7,000 from Mike that quick. Apparently the mother has a spending problem, according to Mike and his stepdad. So she's concerned about the money more than anybody else. And I think this is why now they're trying to charge me for fraud for us using his credit cards to siphon money off, like cash money through my processor so that we could pay the rent. Now, Mike has done this in the past, and I could show that proof because I paid off his credit cards that he actually used through my processor. So, yeah, that's happening. Anyway, well, I'll get to that. So, all this time, you know, the mother now all of a sudden goes silent. Okay, I find out I missed my court date. I find out that my license is suspended and I got found guilty. So when Mike finds out that now I'm not driving anymore, right? I can't drive. He finds out that, and he finds out that, well, I'm broke because I had an envelope full of money that was stolen from me. I don't know who it was, one of these people that I was hanging out with here, or if who knows, in the midst of my craziness, right? Because we were trying to use that money to get a little vehicle so that, so I could drive, right? Well, that went through the roof. So now Mike, he gets the truck impounded. Okay, he got the truck impounded, got caught with a whole bunch of weed, oil, got caught with a meth pipe in the car, all of this stuff. He gets his truck impounded a week after I got it fixed for $1,500 on my credit card. Okay, now we're in the realms of 15 grand that this guy is probably into me for. Okay, 15. So he doesn't pay, again, he didn't pay the rent at Ainsley, so that was that. Okay, so here we go. He stops talking to me, goes silent. 2 weeks before he's supposed to get out of jail, he goes silent. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell? You were just talking to me, and all of a sudden I have no money and I can't drive. I'm a piece of shit now? Cool. Talked to his mom. She's like, oh, well, he has no contact. I said, okay. I said, so when is he going to court? Or when's he getting out? Oh, he's getting out on Friday, she says. Well, doesn't that bitch lie to me? She wasn't getting out on Friday. He got out on Thursday, the night before. So the night before he gets out, nobody tells me. I'm out of my mind upset. She's yelling at me through text, telling me, and you can see that it's a bitchy way of speaking to me, that I better go to probation and lift that no contact, or he's not coming, or whatever. And I was thinking to myself, really? And I even said to her, I could have him breached now. He called me throughout the whole time he was in prison. Oh, you're a yo-yo, and I was like, whoa, no, I'm not a yo-yo. I'm just telling you that what's the difference between then and now? What took 30 seconds for him to say, hey, babe, I'm out. I would have went to probation yesterday. Why do you tell me the next day, late? You know why? Because they got him out. They gave him money, paid a bunch of money off on his credit cards, okay, and got him drunk. Yeah. So then when he decides that he wants to come and see me, he goes and gets skyjunked on meth. For second day he gets out now. So he was at my house. This was not too long ago. The whole time, just fucked up on meth, screwed up, went down to the homeless encampment and was trying to proposition homeless women to have sex with him, and they wouldn't. He had a bag full of crack, asking them, would they sleep with him? Okay, this is the kind of shit that I put up with this towards the end. And I was trying to tell his mother this the whole time. And let me tell you how this woman doesn't give a shit. She cares nothing about what anybody else is going through, as long as her precious son that does all of these things to people gets away with it. So I wake up this morning, or this just a little while ago, and I get an email saying that now there's been a dispute about the credit card money that was taken off to pay the rest of this rent, because that's what he said he was going to do, because I am broke at this point. I have nothing. He took all my money. All right? Those people live in a $2 million home. They don't want for anything. I am struggling here with my son. I am still paying off a car that got written off. Okay? He caused me so much problems and so much horror in my life, and these people are still covering for him. Okay? Well, lo and behold, the sexual assault happened a second time. That was after the first time he got out of prison. Okay? He did it before he went in, and he did it after he got out. This is twice now. Okay? And twice I've kept my mouth shut. But I'm not keeping my mouth shut anymore. And I'm telling you, Waterloo Regional better do something about it, because I've had victim services put locks on the door, ring cameras, they're gone. They were broke. The door was broken. I had no door on my apartment for a week. He took the door off, and the landlord wouldn't fix it. And I had a net on my door, and I slept with an axe and bear mace, because I could. You should see the area I live in. It's not the most flattering area. I had no door. My neighbors are looking at me. I'm like, hi. Okay? Like, I don't know if this all makes sense. The timeline is all choppy and everything. But from the time we got together for a year and a half ago till now, about 4 months in, I have been nothing but excruciated, abused. I am out of my mind. And now this guy's going to try to get me charged for fraud. For fraud for the credit cards that he said, Diane, run them. Okay? And then he changes his mind. And he's saying all these things that I'm saying too fucking bad. Isn't that just too bad? So what, he's going to use that? He's going to use that I said it was too bad and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Wow. I just want to say, Karen Bennett, Mike Archambault, you two got to be the worst mother and son team I've ever seen. How could you do this to a person? How would you like my mom to do something like this to your son? How would you like that? How would you feel if my family has screwed over your son? You don't even care about me at all. Not even a little bit as a human being. I don't expect you to love me or expect me to be my mother-in-law. Not at all. I had your number from the first few times I met you or spoken to you. I already figured out who you were. The fact that psychotherapy is calling me now. So I'm going to have to say goodbye because I really need to talk to them. Okay, and I'm just going to tell you now that, Mike, thanks a lot for trying to get me charged. You're a real solid dude, pal. You're real solid. You know, domestic abuse and sexual assault is not in the code. But what you're doing to me is. So if I were you, I would stop going around trying to sell crack and trying to break bad and trying to be this entrepreneur and everything else. I think you should just do, you know what? Stay home. Stay home. And you know, when he's off house arrest, Miss Bennett, I guarantee you he will be back doing what he does. Okay? The whole time he was in that apartment, he was smoking. Make no mistake, that was not depression. And the fact that he didn't go to your mother's wake was because he was too high. I was saying, Mike, we need to go. He was like, nope. We barely made it to the funeral. Okay? We barely made it. You don't want to hear these things. You don't want to hear them, but they are true, and get them into your head. He yells at you the same way. He's told me that. So what? So now you're mad at me, so you're all in cahoots with your son, so that what? So that what? So that you guys can be like these best of friends until he takes off again or does this to another girl? Or has he met someone? Oh, I see. He must have gone on some sort of dating, and he must have went on whatever. And what, does he have a girl over there now? And she suits you because Mike now can say that he lives in this really nice house. He doesn't have to tell her that he doesn't work, that he lived in Ontario housing, that he was on ODSP, a healthy man. He didn't want to go to work. Oh, so we're going to make up these stories, right? That's cool. That's okay. Because you know what? Every dog has their day. And I am not going to sit by and allow him to do this to someone else. I really don't have, when I say that I love him, I don't love him. Okay, I better rephrase that. I am sad for what he is, for what I loved him. I am sad for what he's become, and now he's become even worse. He's going to try to put me in jail for fraud, okay, when I have a son that's living here with me, that's going through his own issues right now. He's going to try to screw me over. I have a full-time job. Well, I'm going back to my job, so I'm starting off part-time, but I will be back full-time at the hotel. I don't need more of this. I don't need more of this abuse. Why do they keep allowing it to happen? I don't know. But all I know is that I need help. Financially, I'm screwed. He has absolutely screwed me financially. I don't even know how to go make a GoFundMe page. I don't even know if anybody would even donate to me. Okay, I really don't. But I have been screwed over many times, but not as bad as this time. Okay, I had a lot of money taken from me, and actually a couple of my friends, were supposed to be friends, owe me a lot of money too. And I am on my face. I don't know if I can make rent at the end of this month. I can't even go to welfare because I have a job. I make more than welfare, but my rent here is $1,600. And I'm only working twice a week at the hotel because I can't physically or mentally handle more than that. And I have doctor's notes. I just have to go and get them. My boss had asked me if I was physically, or if I'm fit to go back to work. I don't even know if I can tell them that I am anymore. This is what I'm facing now. I get a message this morning saying that my bank is being disputed. Money for credit cards that he had agreed that we were going to do. He changed his mind after I did it. And what was I going to do then? He wanted it back. He wanted me to give him his money back. I said, are you fucking nuts? Like, I don't have it. I would not. I've never had fraud on my record. I would not go ahead and do that unless he had said it was okay. He gave me the credit card numbers. You have to have the goddamn numbers to do it. I didn't have his numbers. He told me to take a picture of the cards. If we didn't have the money by the end of but close to the end of the month, to please go ahead and do it. All right. What am I supposed to do? So I'm not supposed to do it. I'm supposed to wait for him to change his mind every 5 minutes and get me kicked out of here too? I can't believe this thing. You know what? Thank God that I have a witness. I have actually a couple of witnesses that were here. So I don't know whether or not, oh great. No later either. I don't know whether or not, I am going to get in trouble for that or not. But I mean, he's the one that said, can you please ring them? So I just punched them manually in. Okay, so yeah, I sure did. I absolutely did. And because he was there and he told me to. So I didn't have my processor thing. He wasn't working for him to tap it like he did back in the day. But yeah, so he absolutely knew about it, and now he's putting a dispute in the bank. Can you imagine? I can't even put the dispute for the money that I borrowed for him that he's not paying back. We're going to take him to court. ODSP, you can't sue somebody on ODSP. They're not going to pay. So what do? I am stuck here now. The end of the month is coming. He's going to have a $1,600 check. I barely have any money left. And I can't even siphon my credit cards because I can't. I would have done that. Okay, all of this is happening, and sexual assault ×2 on me, and no charges have been laid. So let's just see what Waterloo Regional Police are going to do about it, because you know what, they have done me dirty so many fucking times. I cannot believe half of these guys, the cops that I spoke to, didn't even know the law. Okay, there was another incident that happened, and one of them didn't even know that withholding someone's rent was a federal offense. What the hell? Like, can we get some protection here? Okay? You guys are worried about the crackheads smoking crack under the bridge? Why don't you worry about the people like him that are sexually assaulting women? You have to come to my apartment 17 times, see a bashed up apartment. Every time you come, there's something new broken. You're looking at me, asking me if I'm okay. Well, the one time I said I wasn't, you didn't arrest him anyway, and then I got it even more. So let me tell you, yeah, I was going to say I was okay as tears were streaming down my eyes and I was pleading at you guys. And you guys looked at him and said, oh, is this all worth it? Really? Boys Club, eh? Because I'm a little outspoken, a little loud, and Italian, whatever. 5'3", a little spitfire. I deserve what? I deserve to get trampled on? Or then I deserve to get trampled on by his fucking mother and his stepdad? And then he had told me that they were all biker related and all this stuff. I don't care. Don't scare me at all. All right, that doesn't scare me. What self-respecting biker's gonna come and beat up a 5'3" girl because this guy's abusing her? All right, he's going around telling people he was dealing for them and everything, and it's not true. It was really not true. He was not. Okay, I don't even know where he gets these stories from. Half those guys are professional men. They're not even into crime. He watches Sons of Anarchy and goes nuts. Like, I don't know. All I know is that he's throwing around, the HA's name. He's, making me think that his stepdad was an X1, so I put me in my place because I might be scared. No, I'm not. I'm Italian, and my mom's last name is very specific, and no, we're not scared. Okay, so, because I didn't do anything wrong. Why the hell would a biker come beat me up for? For what? God, I'd like to date one, but I'm not going to be beaten up by one. For what? Right? Like, really. This floors me, and I am going out of my mind, and I got to go to work in less than 2 hours, and I am just not right. And I don't even want to post this video because if my manager sees it, she might be like, oh my God, Diana, are you going to be able to work? Yes, I am. Okay, I will suck it up and I will go to work and do what I have to do. And then I will deal with all of this crap after. Then I have to come home and clean my house. You can see the bed behind me is not even made. I am just not having a good year. And I'm screwed. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. Yeah, I've got some online stuff going on. I've got some websites and these campsites and whatever else, right? But, it takes a while to generate money. He agreed to all of this stuff. In fact, you know what? He's going to call me a whore and saying that I'm on camera and, I'm this dominatrix online and whatever. Well, I'm sorry, Mike, but I have pictures of you wearing women's panties, my panties. You took several of mine and you dropped a couple of them at Gord's house, all cut up. Okay, my panties were expensive. I don't care that you have this little kink. Everybody can say, oh my God, she's outing him. Outing him. Look what he's done to me. He has told everybody lies about me. All his family believes him. They don't believe me. Okay, I went to a goddamn hotel and found him with a chick the first time. All right. Then they breached him then too because I was at the hotel and so was he. Okay. I have a witness. I met this girl. We're actually friends now. She was beside him in the hotel. He had some girl in there. But I guess that's okay with his mom too, right? To cheat on me? For what? I didn't do anything. I did nothing but look after your son, believe it or not. He might have looked after me as well, being sick, but I looked after him. He didn't ask you guys for a goddamn thing. Not a goddamn thing, because I provided everything for him. All loans and credit cards and everything else, because he had promised me that he was going to go to work with his dad in April. Well, we're in October. He didn't go to work with his dad. And then I made a comment on Facebook. Okay? And his dad phoned the mom apparently and started yelling at her. And I said, well, why wouldn't your ex-husband, Mike's father, be more concerned about his son putting his hands on a woman, okay, and excruciating her and absolutely driving me to want to kill myself? Why would he have so much problem with a comment on Facebook? Why wouldn't he be asking his son why he's doing that? Why not? Why hasn't anybody spoke to Mike? Why hasn't anybody said, you know what, leave her the fuck alone? Right? You're gonna what? You're gonna add insult to injury by having the bank fucking dispute a credit card shit that you agreed to? This is what you're gonna do to me now, right? Well, you know what? You're about as solid as a soup sandwich, and I hope that every HA, if they see this video, they come and they ask you why the hell you were using their name. And you know what? I'm not the only one that heard that. There's about 6 other people on the street here that did. Okay? I hope they come to your mother's house and ask you what the hell you were doing. Why not? Since we're outing everybody here, Mike, you know, your little panty fetish thing and you going on cam and doing all of those stuff and then telling me that I'm the whore? Really? This is something that we both did together. And you wanted to be the sub and wanted me to ram things in your butt and all of this crap, all this nasty stuff that you said to me, okay? And I started to get really turned off. I'm not going to lie. It started to really gross me out because whatever that jib was doing to you really grossed me the hell out. And yeah, so I'm going to end that right here because I think we've outed enough of each other now. Is that enough? Or should I go on? Okay, because I know that you used to tell me that your mom would leave you all the time and you have detachment issues and all of this stuff. And I feel real sorry for you about that. And you know what, Karen? You can't make up for that now by excruciating me. You can't punish me for something that you did. You did it. You left your kid. I didn't have anything to do with that. He's got mommy issues and yeah, look, we've got the same color hair. In fact, from far away, we could probably, I don't know, look alike a little. We're about the same age. He's got detachment issues and he's abusing me because he's mad at you. You need to fix your relationship, lady. Okay, you need to fix your relationship with him. He needs to cry to you and he needs to tell his dad. His dad was too much of a tyrant for him and that's why he turned him into this panty boy. Okay? You guys don't know what you did to your son. You have no friggin' clue. But I do, because he's taking it out on me. So you know what? I am going to post the video. I don't care. You can block me all you want, but the world will know, because I will post your guys' pictures with the video. Okay? Because if you think that I am going to be charged for fraud for something that your son did, you're wrong. And I'm going to tell you this. I will be making my reports. Oh, yes, I will. And it's not just because of this. You know what? This was the icing that pushed me to go do it. But I was 2 days ago. I was talking to my friend and I said, listen, I need to go make this report. As much as I love Mike and as much as who knows if we're going to get back together, I need to do it. Because if I don't do it, I am going to live with this for the rest of my life, that I was used and thrown aside and the police allowed it. His mother allowed it. Everybody allowed it. Because nobody's holding him accountable. And when they charged him for assault, they didn't charge him with assault and battery from like concussion and the bruises. They only charged him with assault. The guy did 3 weeks in prison. He's been getting out on his own recognizance. He breached 5 times and got out. His mother bailed him out again. First she pulls bail, then she gets the stepfather to post it because he's scared of him. Right? So now he's posted it. Less bail than the mother put up. And now he's living in the cushy little home while we're sitting here virtually starving, and me trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to come up with rent this month. What do I do? Should I have just allowed him to keep propositioning homeless women? I was doing laundry. I did 26 garbage bags of laundry. I did a day and a half. I stayed at my friend's laundry room. I have videos of it, and he was calling me a whore and propositioning women because he's saying that I wouldn't sleep with him, so I had to find somebody. Like, this is the shit that he's pulled from then till now. I know that this video is really choppy, but I think you get the people that this video is really for are all my friends that wondered what the fuck was going on. And all the ones that know that's going on are going to say, yep, that's true. My neighbor, she will be a witness for me for all of these things, because I am sorry, but I will be contacting the civil lawyers now. One of my, a good criminal lawyer out here that I know gave me some civil litigation lawyers, and I will be suing. I think I'm going to be suing everybody from whoever didn't charge him, right to the superintendent, right to Heartwood Place that allowed that super to put his hands on me and did not do anything about it, right down to the parents who are doing this to me now. I have been mentally excruciated. I am out of my mind. I can't even function. I can't. I shake and I'm upset and I can't friggin' think, okay? Because of all the things he's done to me and how he's left me in the dirt at 54. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And you know, my cousins can be all judgmental because they have been on my Facebook here and there. You know, my friends can be as judgmental as they want, but it doesn't negate the fact that I'm here now. I'm not asking you guys for anything, so don't worry. I won't be. But all I'm saying is that here I am, and I don't want, anybody to feel sorry for me, but God damn it, I want justice. I want some sort of justice, because you know what? I live by a code. And the code is you don't hit women and you don't rape them. And you don't charge your girlfriend for fraud when you told her that that's what we were doing with the cards. Okay? You don't do that. You don't charge anybody with fraud anyways. Remember, Mike? Didn't you call me a rat? And what are you? Yeah. Anyways, you know what? You have yourself a good life with your parents and your friggin' fucked up mother, okay? Because you know what, at the end of the day, she doesn't want to hear the bad, but she messaged you 15 times a day asking, oh, what are you guys doing? What is it your business what we were doing? 54 and 41, we're adults. And you babied him every step of the way, but you didn't want to hear his crap. You didn't want to hear me tell you how he was working out, right? Oh, but in the beginning, didn't you say to him, oh, you met a nice girl, please don't ruin her? What happened to that, Karen? What happened to that when I started telling you all the stuff? Then that upset you? You came to get his stuff the other day. I couldn't carry that shit down the stairs. I told you to bring help. You didn't bring help. And what'd you do? Go crying home to Mike? So Mike's like, oh, I'm going to charge her for fraud because he made my mom carry the stuff down. No, sorry, buddy. I told your mom to bring help. Your mom doesn't tell you those things, though. She doesn't show you my messages. She only tells you what you want to hear, or what you don't want to hear. Who knows? All I know is that I am very disappointed. I am actually sick to my stomach over all of this. This is going to kill me. I've got to go to work in an hour now. So thanks a lot, Karen Bennett and Mike Archambault, a.k.a. Archie from Kitchener. Yeah. You know, apparently you got some really tough guy cousins and everything out there. I really wonder what they're gonna think. You beating up on a chick, wearing girls' underwear, and having your family bully her too. Oh, are you gonna pay Mike's cards? Yeah, constantly asking me, knowing that I wanted her approval so bad. I'm sitting in that apartment. I cried myself to sleep every fucking night. I have videos every time. And then I get illegally locked out of there too. And then, of course, Mike doesn't say, oh, she can go back, right? It's dirty and disgusting there. But I went back anyway to get some stuff. But now, all right, I guess I'm barred from there too, eh, Mike? Well, guess what? I think I'm going to give the tribunal a call, and maybe I'll witness for the other side of what you did to their goddamn apartment. Okay? You'll be liable for those charges, because I didn't do any of those holes in the wall. That was you, pal. That was you, because I got videos and everything else. So you know what? You go ahead. You go ahead and have me charged for fraud. I'll be calling the bank today, and I'll be telling them, and I'll have victim services write a letter, and anybody else that needs to, and my therapist, because you're not going to get away with this now. You have crossed the line. You and your mother have crossed the line at this point. Okay, so you know what? How about you sleep with your mom? Because that's who you're really having these issues with. You go and cuddle your mama. Okay, and I'm just going to try to go on with my life, and I'm not going to put my foot in my mouth. If I were you, I would try to not come break bad on the streets, because you literally have like crossed the line in every way, shape, and form out here. It's disgusting. I work in a hotel, and I have people coming in from the shelters and saying your boyfriend's this and that and blah blah blah. And I'm like, whoa, really? Come on, man. You're ruining my name and you're ruining my life out here. It's sick. Anyways, I'm gonna go because I have to go to work, and this video is pretty long, and I don't even know if anyone's gonna watch it all the way through. But I gotta get going. So yeah. This is it. So if you guys don't hear from me, actually, please don't message me 50,000 messages asking me, am I okay? I am not okay. I am not okay. I'm not mentally okay. I'm not financially okay. I'm not any okay at all. I have got so many credit card debts and car debts and everything else. And he did this to me. And he promised that he would pull me out of it. The parents, everything else, nothing. Nothing. That truck is gone. The F-150 is gone, and it may not be. If they get it out of the impound, there is money in that truck that belongs to me, and there's also that truck, the $1,500 I paid. So they're going to sell it, and they're going to let him keep the money. This is guaranteed. If they got it out of the impound, God damn it, I'm telling you. I am telling you, I don't care. I have not much to lose. Now I have nothing to lose. Now I have nothing to lose. And you know what? Grand Valley is full of women like me. Full of women like me that got bullied to the point where they just couldn't take it anymore. So you just remember, Waterloo Region, what you've done to me too. You guys negated the fact that I was abused time after time after time. If you had nipped it in the butt the first time. If the mother had nipped it in the butt the first time. But no, I couldn't go anywhere. So nobody ever say to me, oh, why didn't you go? My unemployment wore out and I had no money. All right, I had credit cards. All right, the fact that he rang them up and had continued to up until now has screwed me. Okay, has absolutely screwed me. And you know what? I was in too deep at that point. I couldn't walk away from him. Because I walk away from all of this now. I had to walk away anyways, didn't I? Anyways, I don't care. I'm tired of the victim shaming. Don't victim shame me. I don't want to fucking hear it, because I've helped mostly everybody on my Facebook. One way or the other, I've helped you guys out. So do not victim shame me at all. I don't want to fucking hear it. Okay? I don't. Because everyone has followed suit. They watched Mike abuse me, and everybody down the line has done the same shit. This is the first time in my life that I've had a domino effect of people hurt me. And it's not gonna end well for a lot of people. It's really not. All right. So if you owe me money, or if you've done something to really fuck me over, I think it's time now. You better pony up, man. Because I'm done. I'm done with being treated this way. I'm really, really done. And if there's anybody that wants to message me that could provide me with any sort of help to go and collect this money, or anything like that, please, can you? All right. Because I'm just a girl, and I'm by myself, and I don't have very many friends out here, and all my friends are in Toronto, and I don't want to bother them. I really don't. But thanks for listening, and just know that this is domestic abuse. This is what happens, and that family is absolutely disgusting to me. To leave me in a position like this, and to allow him to start doing these things to me. Okay, he wouldn't have done that dispute unless the mother or the father had pushed him into it. He's all cushy there, thinking he's gonna be out living this straight John life. No. When he's off house arrest, I guarantee you, he's not. You don't change overnight. Okay, he's on house arrest. You're not getting him any help. No one's getting him any help. I already know that. When he's crying in his grandma's basement, so you think he's rehabilitated? Unbelievable. Rehab and counseling takes a long time, lady. Okay? Get your son some help. Get him on some bipolar meds. Get him on something. But don't let him do this to another girl. All right? Because he's left me in a bad position. Yeah, he's left me in a bad position. Yeah, now I drink one or two more coolers than I should. Here and there. Why? We started drinking together. Right? But now he's at home fixing himself while I'm here stressed to the max, wanting to die, and broke. And what, you're going, oh, she's the alcoholic. No, honey. I told you the alcohol was not the problem. And I'm not an alcoholic. Everybody knows that. But alcohol wasn't the problem with him. It was the meth. And you refused to believe that. So he found a meth pipe in his car, but that was someone else's. Anyway, all right. I'm going to go because now I can't even breathe. I'm so upset, and I gotta go look. It's 1 o'clock. I gotta be at work in an hour, and I gotta figure out how I'm gonna fix this on my face when I go in. Bye.